Hey everyone, how's it going? Scott here with the CT Weather Geek channel. So, I mentioned in one of my former videos that I'm going to be doing a tour of all the Connecticut towns. So, I'm going to do it in alphabetical order. It's going to be about 150 to 200 towns. I think there's officially 169 towns in the state. Um, it won't necessarily be a town. I might go to a city or two, but I'm going to do it in alphabetical order, I think. I think that's the best way to go about doing this. So my first stop is in Andover, Connecticut, which is in the northeast corner in Tolland County. And there's several great things to see in this town. So I hope you like this video. Okay, Andover, Connecticut. Incorporated in 1848. Comprises about 15.7 square miles and has a population of 3,151. It's a nice country small town in northeast Connecticut. So my first stop is going to be at the Veterans Memorial Bridge here. Okay, so it's actually called the Andover Memorial Bridge. And this is a covered bridge that crosses over Route 316 near the intersection of Route 6. So, of course, I had to pick the snowiest day of the year to come. It's January 17th, 2026. And this is a very special bridge because the claim is that it's the only covered bridge in the U.S. that crosses over a road instead of a river or waterway. This is really cool. And the trail ahead is the East Coast Greenway. And I will talk about more about that later. So this bridge was constructed in 2013, and it is right near the Andover Veterans Monument Park, which is where I'm going to go next. That's going to be really interesting. There are a bunch of war monuments honoring our veterans there. So I'll check that out next. So here's a little bit more information about Andover. I'm actually going to be walking up to the Historical Society building, which used to be the old town hall. I'll get there in a minute. I think it was built in 1893. So let's talk about the local government. So they have a board of selectmen in this town of 5 members. Currently, the first selectman is Jonathan Zabel, Democrat, and the vice is Jeffrey Murray, Republican. So we have both sides of the aisle represented here. And I'm going to show you the Historical Society building in 1 second here. Looks like we have some old farming equipment on display here. Wow, this is cool. Looks like they got Christmas lights on them too. Nice. So I came here on a weekend, and they're not open, but I'll have to come back on a weekday, check it out. I'm sure there's some interesting stuff inside. All right, Veterans Monument Park is next. All right, so Veterans Monument Park honors the town's military veterans across various conflicts. So we have, wow, we have a bunch of them here. World War II, Korean War, Vietnam. Let's see what we got over here. Had to clean that off there. It was covered in snow. Wow. There's a look at the bridge I was just at. That is really cool. This is an anti-tank cannon. Wow. Really cool. Wow. This is, over here we have the Battlefield Cross Monument, which is a symbolic granite representation of a fallen soldier's rifle, helmet, and boots. This is really cool. Yeah. There's something underneath here. All right. I had to wipe off the snow there too. The Battlefield Cross Monument. There it is. No, you are certainly not forgotten. God bless America. Wow, this is a really intricate monument. Let me see if I can get a closer look. It's kind of hard to see, but let me see if I can get it. Wow, what a beautiful area. Nice country, small town. Dedicated to the men and women from the town of Andover who served in World War II and the Korean War. And then next to it, we have the Vietnam Memorial. I believe this one is for the people that served in the Revolutionary, Civil, and World War. Wow. What a great way to honor our veterans. Way to go, Andover. And I almost missed this. This is unique and I think kind of important, and I want to mention it. The Agent Orange Memorial. Um, a lot of veterans who served in Vietnam were exposed to Agent Orange, which was an herbicide chemical that caused lots of problems, especially cancer. even years later after exposure. So this is they're honored here as well. Wow, this is an absolutely beautiful town. First one on the list of many that I'm going to be going to. Here's another look at that bridge again. All right, let's see where we go next. All right, well, I think I'm done with this spot over here. Next, I'm gonna head to a hiking trail, Hop River, I think it's called, and yeah, Hop River Park Trail, which is part of an old rail line that they turned into a rail trail. Um, so some veteran-related activities that they have every year here is the Veterans Day ceremony, usually on around November 12th. I think last year was November 11th that they had it. They also have a Memorial Day parade every year, as well as the Wreaths Across America, which is a great organization where they lay a wreath. They lay wreaths at veterans' graves to honor them for their service. And I like the description it gave me online. I'd like to read that right now. It says it honors those who serve and to teach the next generation the value of freedom. I think it's very important that we teach future generations the value of freedom, as I can't help but notice that more and more freedoms are being taken away as we go on here. All right, so my next stop is going to be the Hop River State Park Trail, which is a trail that goes from Manchester to Willimantic. It's really snowy out here today. I'm gonna go down a small path here because there's a freaking really cool tunnel with lights in it, I guess. So I'm gonna check that out right now. So okay, so I'm headed to the Hop River State Park Trail, which is gonna show that tunnel I just mentioned. I parked across the street at I parked at a Dollar General because I think the parking spot along Lake Road was snow covered and my car isn't the best in the snow. Yeah, so here's the parking area that I could have parked along the side of the road, but I decided it was a little easier just to park right there at the Dollar General. But here it is, Hop River Rail Trail, which is also called the East Coast Greenway. This is what used to be a rail line. I think the Hartford, Providence, and Fishkill Railroad, I believe, is what it was. So I'm gonna try to not bust my ass on the slick conditions, but this is just beautiful. I mean, this is what New England is all about. I mean, I guess I picked a really good day for the snow to give it the added allure. So let's see what we got down here. So if you go down this trail, there are a lot of spots along the way where you could see where there were old abutments that were railroad related, where they had bridges. I'm probably not going to find any in today's video because I'm not going to be hiking a lot on this one, but if you're into that kind of stuff, this would be a really, really good trail to go on. You'd probably see a lot of this stuff. So yeah, like I can see way up ahead there, there's a little tunnel. Let me zoom in. Yeah, there it is. All right, so I'll come back when I get closer. So let me just talk a little bit about Andover in general. Just a really nice country town. Very, very rural. Lots of stone walls along the road with old houses, farms. Just really pretty. So you're going to get that in Northeast Connecticut for sure, and most of Talon County as well. So this looks like it was at one point an old train tunnel. I'm gonna have to fact check that, make sure it truly is what I just said it was. But looks like they installed some lights in here. I think it's about 400 feet long. This is really cool. I'm always looking for stuff like this on my hikes. Anything related to the old railroad is cool in my book. Yeah, this is really cool. Whoa, it's slippery as hell, too. That was a patch of ice I didn't see underneath that snow. Yeah, you can see where I almost busted my ass right there. Anyway, this looks like corrugated metal. Chump. Make America apes again. Well, that's interesting. Makes me think of that. Makes me think of the scene from Spaceballs. Spaceballs? Oh shit. There goes the planet. Yeah. Well, most of the time I don't like graffiti because it's just ugly and disrespectful. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes I see some funny shit. Here's something that says, kill your TV, or fuck your TV, or something like that. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the TV either. Not the inanimate object, but the stuff they put on TV. So I canceled cable years ago. Because that stuff will just rot your brain. And now we're back out into the snow again. Route 6 mile marker here. And that must be it up there. Yep, because we're crossing. This goes under Route 6. And I almost just fell again. Wow. Well, that was fun. Really got to be careful because I busted my knee a few months back and it's still healing. And I don't want to re-injure it because I got to do. Actually, I want to do a lot of these new videos. So, a little bit about the start of this new journey. It's going to be. I'm going to do a video in each town in Connecticut. So it could be upwards of 200 videos that I do. I know there's all different types of towns and cities in this great state, and all different types of landscaping, or landscapes rather. And I picked hilly North Country on January 17th, 2026. Yes. And I wouldn't really call this a snowstorm, but we're going to get a couple of inches of snow, and things are a little slick, but probably got about another half hour of the snow left, so I might just wait it out and go on a shopping spree at good old Dollar General. I don't know. The temperature's right around freezing, so it's not like everything's sticking all that much. It's sticking on the trail, that's for sure, as I almost fell on my ass a couple times. And I'm going to be careful now because this is where I nearly fell last time. Oh, man. So this is a town I'd definitely come back to. There's a couple other hiking trails in this town, and the Doris Chamberlain one rings a bell. That one, Doris Chamberlain was a principal at the Andover Elementary School for like 30 years, and so they named a trail that goes behind that school after her. Good stuff. Good stuff. One thing I found interesting in regards to politics, I'm not really going to talk a lot about politics in these videos, but I noticed that the electorate there's a lot of independents, a lot of unaffiliated voters here. I think it was like 29% Republican, 28.5% Democrat, and like 40-something% unaffiliated. So a lot of towns are like that, very similar. So lots of other history here involving the Revolutionary War. I believe the famous General Rochambeau came through here. And there's, I think there's a monument for that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go see it today or not, but just wanted to give everyone sort of a overview, of each town in Connecticut, alphabetically. So I think I'm going to start in Andover and end in Woodstock, I believe. What's next? Let's see. What's next on the list? Probably Ansonia in the valley. So first one's in Northeast Connecticut. Second one's going to be in the Connecticut River Valley, and then we'll go from there. Lots of towns I've covered in some of my other videos. I know when I do Hamden, I'm going to be up on Sleeping Giant again. That's a great hike. Lots of great hikes on that mountain. So I hope you all will subscribe to my channel so you can check out all the different towns, and this will sort of be like an area where you can go and say, well, hey, I got to be in Park Hampstead in a few days. I wonder what's there. Let's go check Scott's channel and see what he found while he was there. So anyway, if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe and like my video and all that good jazz. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. That's a really cool bridge over there. Wow. I love this scene with the snow and the snow-covered rocks and the river. Went to central New England in the winter.